Hello everybody and welcome back to another online Chinese history class with me, Tony. Last class, we talked about the theories of how Qi became the fourth king and officially started the Xia dynasty, and also what dynasties were, an overview about the leaders of the dynasties of China, and some world events going on in the era of the Xia dynasty. As a quick review, I'm going to ask you a question related to last class. Which of the following is true from what I said last class regarding the overall summarization of Chinese dynasties and leader of the dynasties? A. 4,000 There were 4,528 years from Huangdi to the end of the last dynasty. Within these 4,528 years, there were 87 different regimes or political titles and 582 rulers. 401 of them were emperors and 181 of them were kings. Or B. There were a total of 4,643 years from Huangdi to the end of the last dynasty of China. Within them, there were 83 different regimes or political titles and 559 rulers. 397 of them were emperors and 162 of them were kings. C. 4,217 years from the first dynasty to the last dynasty. Within them, there were 79 different regimes and 537 rulers. 235 of them were emperors and 302 of them were kings. D. 4,361 years from the first dynasty to the end of the last dynasty. Within them were 68 different regimes or political titles and 521 rulers. 403 of them were emperors and 118 of them were kings. Now, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think about this and answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The correct answer is B. There were a total of 4,643 years from Huangdi to the end of the last dynasty. Within these years, there were 83 different regimes or political titles and 559 total rulers. 397 of them were emperors, compared to the minority, which is 162 kings. Anyways, we're moving on to the Xia dynasty. After Qi became the king, he made a lot of major changes to the laws. Instead of being like Yao, Shun, and Yu, who served the people and helped them, Qi forced everybody to serve him. He had fun and didn't care about much at all. He didn't care if the civilians had troubles or problems. So naturally his brother had enough of that, and he rebelled against him with his own army. But Qi's army was a lot stronger and they annihilated him. After that, Qi killed his own brother. As you can see, the first dynasty isn't off to a great start. Yu would have regretted that his son was on the throne. But it only got worse from there. First of all, Qi had 5 sons. Now that is a lot. They wanted to be the next king. And each of them wanted to be the next king, but only one of them could be it. So they fought and they argued. And in the end, one of his sons became the next king. But when that happened, and when the son was rejoicing and celebrating and the other sons were sad and mad, an enemy tribe took advantage of the chaos and invaded one of the cities of Xia, which contained all of those people. All the sons of Qi and the grandsons of Qi either fled or died, but leaving only one grandson of Qi left, Xiang. He didn't become the 6th king, though. The leader of the enemy tribe became the third king of Xia, or the sixth king of China. Xiang wasn't found by the tribe or executed or anything like that, as he created another identity to protect himself. But he just lived as a normal civilian. Anyways, one of the ministers of the king saw how enjoyable it was to be king and envied the tribe leader. So he decided, why don't I just kill him and become the next king myself? And so he did, and became the next king. Literally. Just like that. Anyways, like I said before, this wasn't a good start. Not a good start at all. And it had a terrible ending too. The last king of Xia was a man named Jie. He was strong and could rip a deer's antlers apart with his bare hands. He could knock out bulls with his punches. A person like this could have been a hero and be known for his deeds of helping people as a hero and a king at the same time. But instead, he became notorious and infamous for his actions as the king. And in case you don't know what notorious and infamous means, it's basically being famous, but known for bad things. You see, he did all of those things for his own pleasure, ripping animals apart and knocking out beasts. He didn't care if anyone had a problem with it, and he just all did it, for his own pleasure. Sort of like Qi. But Jie was much worse. He had thousands, tens of thousands, and even hundreds of thousands of slaves. He forced them to make a giant palace, and in the palace, a big pool of wine. He would then randomly choose people and force them to go into the wine pool and also force them to drink the wine. And when they became drunk, they drowned. Another thing he did with the wine pool was grab tons and tons of people and line them up near the edge of the pool. Then he would force them to drink from the wine pool. When they were drunk, they fell in and also drowned. The last man standing, well, he got to survive. It's very brutal. He did other things like this, putting people on flaming sticks, ripping apart expensive wool because one of his friends liked the sound of it, and more. At that time, the Xia Dynasty became super poor because all of their assets went nowhere and was all spent by Jie. But by Xia Dynasty, I actually mean all of the people of Xia. Jie was having the time of his life, while the people of Xia could barely live on because of the shortage of food and money. But, some people, of course, people won't be tolerant of this, right? Some people won't. A lot of people won't. A tribe named Shang didn't like his behavior and wanted to get rid of the Xia Dynasty because it was affecting them too. And we'll talk about in the next class about the legendary Shang tribe. See you next time.